Hey guys, I'm here with the man of the month. I'm going to go with man of the month, Jesse Posey. We're going to turn this into the Posey Show, no longer the MoonLightin Outdoors podcast. Wanted to introduce you guys to Jesse's buck. Does this thing have a name?
No?
Nope. I
Nope.
think this guy needs a name. What about you guys? This is a pretty outstanding hunt right here, and it'd be East Central Indiana. And I asked Jesse to come in, show his buck off, and we wanted to talk a little bit more about the hunt and some of Jesse's success with deer hunting. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
So what do you guys think of this thing? Pretty outstanding. He's got a scar from where he got his butt kicked once, so that's the guy I'm after. Heck of a buck, Jesse. Proud of you, dude.
Thanks for letting me hunt your stand.
You're welcome anytime, man. See you guys in the studio.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the MoonLightin Outdoors podcast. If you hadn't already, please go on over and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as our Instagram and Facebook. Thanks, guys. Glad you guys are tuning in. The buck in the truck that you just saw tells the whole story. Podcast is over. See you guys. Just kidding. Welcome back, Jesse Posey, to the MoonLightin Outdoors podcast. We just wanted to bring Jesse in here and celebrate that. I wish he had a name so I could just call him by name. Why didn't he have a name?
Oh, we never really gave him one.
I think you're the only person in history of having a, I don't want to guess the score of this buck. I'll say high 180s because that's kind of what we talked about.
Yep.
Everybody else has got a name for that buck.
He was just the one, pretty much.
Okay, the one.
Everybody, when in the family, it was the one.
The one.
The one.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was.
So, that one.
Yeah.
He won with that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just making it weird. But anyways, I wanted to bring Jesse on and talk about this beautiful buck. And then I wanted to see about picking his brain a little bit and having him share some of his hunting success because I'm going to tell you, I've been following this guy for quite a few years, and he's got it down. I mean, he tries to downplay everything, but I'm going to tell you, he's a hell of a deer hunter, and it's a real privilege to have him sitting here today, willing to share these stories with us. So, Jesse, just kind of give us a rundown about how everything started with the one, if you would.
It's kind of cool. He I guess it started back be late October. Good friend of mine and my boys was we was going in to put a ground blind up, and we jumped him. And I mean, I've been fortunate enough to take some decent deer in my life, but when we seen him, it was just like, oh my God. I mean,
when you jumped this buck, did you have to leave the woods with one sock?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the thought of it, I'm about to be down to one sock, to be honest.
And in the back of my head, I'm thinking a buck of that caliber, and we just jumped him out of his bed.
It was over.
It's over. It's lights out. You might as well, I pushed him to somebody else, and that's a big pet peeve of mine, but it is what it is. But that was the first time. And then my son actually had him the last day of shotgun at 75 yards.
So you thought he was gone from that particular date until Gage or Grant?
Gage
about had him.
Yep. And we had him coming in, and he was just on a doe. And I told Gage, I said, as soon as I stop him, he had the safety off on the crosshairs, and I said, as soon as I stop him, you take him. And I went to stop him, and the doe, there was a few other deer around us, and there was a little buck and some bunch of does, but the doe that he was on, as soon as I stopped him, he never stopped, and she took off, and that was the end of that story.
And thank God for that day. Yeah, otherwise, you wouldn't be here in the hot seat.
Yeah, it'd been Gage again. But
that daggone, those Posey boys, they're wearing me out. Just in case, if you guys are wondering what I keep referring to, you'll see. Just pay attention, watch our podcast, and you'll see that this really does need not to be the MoonLightin Outdoors podcast. This is truly the Posey Show. But no, we're grateful to have them. All of Jesse and his two boys and his nephew, and Josh Bramble, his brother-in-law, and even his other brother-in-law, Brett, all successful deer hunters and have done a great job. And so we're going to try to work on having some of these guys on here and just sharing some of this knowledge with us all. I know I could use all the help I can get. So after that day, when you were out there with Gage and everything went down like it did, any more run-ins with him or camera pictures?
No, and that's just it. I mean, that farm, I was afraid to even put cameras up because I didn't want to touch him because he was being pressured, and I know there was other guys that knew of him and knew he was there, and I was tiptoeing around. I was walking a long way out of my way to get into where we had to go, and parking my truck at other farms and and not even hunting that farm and hunting this farm and getting in there super early. And he was just a different deer. I mean, and he was living in probably 3 acres. And
so when you get a deer of this caliber on your brain, it pretty much takes over your life.
Yeah.
I haven't had that experience yet, unfortunately. Well, I kind of did. Not quite this nice of a buck, but I told you the last time I had a really nice buck.
Yep.
And I passed another buck up because of it. And a mistake made. I should have shot that nice buck. But long story short, think about how ridiculously painful his life had to be for all these. How many weeks was it between Gage? It was just like a week or two.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Oh,
it was
I don't even feel sorry for you then.
Yeah.
I don't even feel sorry for you.
Well, it'd been the last week of shotgun, and we had the middle week where there was nothing going on, and then we got him the first week of muzzleloader.
So what kind of things goes through your mind? Like, what all scenarios were you running through about how this buck could have left? I'm thinking, since he was chasing that doe, you thought, well, he's probably going to run a doe. The second rut's going to come in, he's going to run a doe off the property.
I was hoping there was a few more deer in this area than normally has been, and I was just afraid that, I mean, anybody could have killed this deer. I mean, it ain't like I'd done anything special. There was guys there that are better hunters than I am that could have killed him. I'm the one that just got lucky, but it is what it is, I guess. He got under my skin, and I just couldn't
take it.
No.
Yeah.
And luckily I have a wife that's very understanding, and she's like, go get him. I mean, and it never, and the day I killed him, it shouldn't have happened. I mean,
I love how he plugged his wife right here, knowing she's going to watch this show. He's just thinking about next year already, Lindsay. That's all. No, honestly, he told me that on the phone too, Lindsay, so he appreciates you. And I appreciate you too. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this show today. Thanks, Lindsay. We'll change this to the Lindsay Posey show.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah.
Should be.
I mean, honestly,
Oh, yeah.
she's the one who has to put up with all this at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, with the boys and me, and
Yeah.
gives her a little alone time now.
Well, I'm sure that wouldn't be so bad all the time. But I'm thinking about all the thousands of dollars that you were putting out in taxidermy. Because I know you're not doing a European mount out here.
Yeah. I haven't made up my mind what I'm going to do on him yet, but
European mount, I'm sure that's all.
yeah, just put him on a wood plaque on the wall.
There is some very interesting European mounts that people do them up really neat. But I'm going to tell you, I've seen some very weird taxidermy stuff. And I feel like a new trend is not the shoulder mounts and stuff. And I can't get on board with it, man. Have you seen the one with the ladder?
No, I
It's
have
like
not.
it's a little piece they wear on their backpack. And it's basically the deer head sticking out, and then it's the hide that's all rolled up.
I have seen that one. I like that one. Sometimes
bizarre.
It looks cool though. I've
It's
seen
bizarre.
a couple of them.
You know, if we weren't in Indiana and we were out west backpacking and that's how you carried that buck, that'd be one thing. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird for me. I think that, I mean, at what point are you just going to say, let's just do a full body mount?
We've talked about it.
We've talked about
I've
it.
talked about maybe a half body mount,
Yeah.
but I don't know what we're going to do yet. But
He's doing a full body mount. The pictures will be up. We'll add them to the comments of this video. In how long? 6 months?
probably.
Yeah. So, all the way up to let's cover the day you shot this dude, the one.
It was I got in late and about 4:00, and which is a lot later than I had been getting in. It was warm and just didn't feel right, but
Didn't feel right.
it didn't for December, and it's 60 degrees, and I'm
Okay, yeah,
walking and it's I'm walking in a t-shirt to get there so I don't sweat too much and then freeze once it goes down. But
Guys, make notes. T-shirt, for hunting in December if it's above 60. At the end of the day, we'll put all this stuff together, and we're going to be able to take a buck of this class too, right here on the Jesse Posey Show. T-shirt. I'm writing this down. Okay, keep going.
But didn't really see much. I had been seeing some does early, and felt like that day there was one yearling doe came out, and that was it. And then another doe came out, I don't know, it was about half an hour before dusk, and I looked up, and I could see him in the thicket and another buck, and they were chasing a doe. And
down to one sock.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. The chest pain started hitting, and the left arm started hurting, and this is it.
You're lucky to be alive.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Carry on. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. But, that doe came out, and she came right at me, and she came into 100 yards, and you could just tell, and I'm grateful I've killed this deer, but I almost feel so sorry for him because he did not want to step out into that field. He stood there, and he knew he's a big deer, and he don't come out in daylight in a wide open field, and he didn't want to come out, but he just couldn't take it, and he came out, and he chased her. They got to within 100 yards of me, and I thought, I'm going to kill him at 50 yards right in front of me, and she turned around, and he was bumping her, and he turned around and started chasing her, and I had ranged a bunch of stalks in the field and wet spots and stuff like that, and I knew where he was at, and I yelled and stopped him. Well, I done the notorious.
How did you do this? Just one little mat? That's it?
That's all it was.
Okay.
No, I screamed it.
No,
that's all right.
We'll let you off, man. We'll let you off. Okay, carry on.
But he was quartering away, and I just said a prayer and put it right behind his shoulder. And when I shot, smoke went everywhere, and you could just hear. Close your eyes and you can hear it, and you just hear the thump, and I knew I had hit him good, and as long as I hit where I was aiming, I guess.
Yep.
But he went about 10 feet and then laid down, and you could see it was pretty cool. The sun was going down, and you could see the smoke, the steam coming out of his nose, and then you could see the steam coming out of the hole in his side, and then that's when it kind of set in. I thought, oh my God, I got him. And then I sat there and I thought, well, go down, and I'll just keep watching him. And
so
then
he laid down, and you're just waiting for him to fully lay down.
Yeah, his head's still up, and he's just bedded. And I thought, well, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. And
reloading.
I know. I wasn't even thinking reload, so I did, and then I reloaded. And at this time, he's 180, 185, somewhere around there. But he's facing straight away from me almost. He's quartering a little bit. But I thought, I got to do something. And then I put him in the crosshairs. And, you're talking about a deer that's bedded down. So you're only talking, same amount, I guess, as when he's standing up. But all I could see is that rack. And in the back of my head, I'm like,
you're going to bust the rack?
I'm going to blow a tine or a main beam off of this buck.
Yep.
So I put it back on him a little bit. And when I shot, I missed. And
really?
he stood up and went probably another 10 feet and then laid back down. And then I reloaded, and, you hear all those horror stories about I shot him, and he went down, and, I'm high-fiving, and I turn around, and he's gone.
You knew you'd missed.
Oh, the second shot, yeah, I knew, because I didn't hear it. I mean, you can hear the thump, and I knew I had missed. So I'm sitting there, and so I thought, well, it's all the deer had exited the field except him, and he's facing away. So I stood up, had my shooting sticks, reloaded, and I circled around to get an angle on him. And I got an angle on him at probably, 150 yards, and I shot him, got him right in the heart, and he just laid his head down. And that's when I called the boys and told them we'd got the one.
Yeah.
And I walked all the way back. I didn't even go look at him. I just let him stay there. And I walked all the way back and told them where to meet me at and pick me up. And they picked me up, and we drove down there, and it was pretty cool. I can
imagine.
The boys were crying. I was crying. Lindsay was crying. We was all hugging and high-fiving. And it was fun. I've never experienced anything like that. That was a buck. I never dreamed I'd kill him, but I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky. Very lucky.
And, I was trying not to have my feelings hurt that I wasn't one of the first texts. I'm just having a good time, guys. I was razzing him on the phone that I actually was like the 20th or 30th person that got the message, and I was good with that. My feelings were not hurt. Let me think of what this. Let me see here. I think I got a sound for this. Here it is. It's about how I was feeling. Yeah. No, I'm totally kidding. I was honored that, but you know what? When I responded to it, I got nothing back from him. He was too busy crying with his family. Yeah. No, but dude, for real, I am so pumped for you, and I think this is incredible. And so, guys, right here on the Jesse Posey Show, we appreciate you guys for watching. This is going to be a 2-part. This is the end of number 1. Peace. We're out.